I just wanted to make a quick video going over the Ubisoft scandal, the drama that's going on right now. So I thought I'd just have a little chat about it. I'm just going to go off the cuff here. I've got a few little notes, but I'm not going to read off a script or anything, so here goes. So first of all, let's talk about what has happened. There's a quote going around, or like a kind of a quote, that a Ubisoft executive said that gamers need to get comfortable with not owning their own games. Now that is not strictly what's happened. I want to read this quote in context so everyone gets a better idea of what's going on. I think the headlines are misleading people. People need to read the actual articles themselves. So here's the full quote so we get a better picture of what was actually said. One of the things we saw is that gamers are used to, a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games. That's the consumer shift that needs to happen. They've got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. That's a transformation that's been a bit slower to happen in games. As gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress is still there. That's not been deleted. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. So let's get this out of the way, guys. I think people are misleading people here. He is talking about subscription models, and he's not talking about buying a game on like Steam or Ubisoft and not owning the game. Although technically you don't actually own the game, which is maybe why people are getting angry. You kind of own a license to use the game while it's there. Anyways, that aside, that is not what they're talking about. They're talking about a subscription. So when you pay for the subscription, you get to use the games. When you stop using the subscription, you no longer have access to that game. Your save game does not go away, like he just said in the quote. But so I think that's where people are getting angry here. Like, you can still buy physical media. I know it's going away, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But I just wanted to say, guys, I think this is getting taken out of proportion. Obviously, I'm the first one to hate on Ubisoft. I don't like a lot of the things that they've done or that they continue to do. But this, I think, has gone a little bit crazy. He's saying in order for these subscription model type things to grow, gamers need to feel happier or more comfortable with not owning their games. Just like you do with Netflix, you don't own all those films, or with Spotify, you don't own all that music like you used to when you'd buy a CD or a DVD. So that's the kind of thing he's talking about. So I just wanted to put that out there first, because I think people are thinking that it's about buying games and then not being able to access them, which is true. That can happen as well. But that is not what this specific quote is about. So there is obviously a lot of problems with subscription services. My biggest problem is that there is so many, especially for films. There's like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, HBO, Paramount. There's just so many. Like, if you want to watch just one film, you have to go to a different service or whatever, and it is really annoying. I wish they were more consolidated. You just had maybe 2 or 3 and you could switch between them. But the way it is right now, every company wants to have their own one, which is what is happening in gaming. We've got Xbox Game Pass, we've got the PlayStation one, I'll be honest, I don't know what it's called, and you've got like Ubisoft Plus, and I'm pretty sure all the other companies are going to be doing the same thing. So Ubisoft has just brought out their new like pricing tier. There's like a classic one with like all the older games and things, and then there's a very expensive high tier with all the deluxe editions of all the games and things. I think it's probably a bit overpriced for a subscription gaming model, but that's just me. I don't think I'll be paying for it. I'd rather pay for individual games and then have access to them whenever I want. Because, yeah, sometimes it takes me a long time to play these games, especially things like Valhalla, which are very long. So yeah, there's that. I don't like that subscriptions are what they're pushing for to be the main model, because as a customer, I think that's bad because they're taking away choice here, because we're eventually not going to be able to buy physical media. They still do, Ubisoft still do a lot of physical media, so that's fine, but I think that is going away, so people aren't going to be able to buy a game and then be able to play it forever. And that also goes along with these companies not preserving their old games. Now, Ubisoft shut down servers and all sorts all of the time. They take away access to DLCs for things. They've done that with a couple of the old Assassin's Creed games. You can no longer play DLCs for some of them. Now, I don't know a lot about a lot of their other games, but I have heard that they've done very similar things. So you can't access parts of these games that you paid for. So, you know, they're not very good at preserving their old games. No company in the gaming space is really. So that's not really what we want to be doing here. The problem with the Ubisoft subscription model is that I don't trust this company. they release a lot of bad things and a lot of non-consumer friendly games and all sorts of things. I don't want to be paying for a service, especially not if it's like you pay yearly. I know you save money on a lot of those things, but I don't think I could ever commit to that until they gave me years and years and years of reasons to trust them and believe in the games that they're making. Now, I have been surprised by a couple of their recent games. Mirage was very good. I never played Avatar, was not interested in that. That just looked like Far Cry again. It obviously looked very beautiful, but the gameplay just looked very boring and repetitive to me. I didn't want to try that. So I have not played that, but I don't think that would be my thing anyway. And also Prince of Persia, which is just come out today, I think. I got the deluxe edition, so I've been playing that early, and you know what? That's a very, very good game. So Ubisoft is on the up for me. They've done a couple of good games in a row here. Well, close to each other anyway. But yeah, it's going to take a lot more than that to repair the damage they've done with their time savers, their constant push for microtransactions, and yeah, just the bloated games and just things they've been doing just to make money and not about making good games. So I would not want to subscribe to all these things. I don't want to have to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass, the PlayStation 1, an EA thing, or any of these other big companies. It's just going to get crazy, and you're going to end up spending more money. It's just going to pump out of your bank account every month, and you're not even going to realize it. And a lot of the time, you're not even going to play the new games that are coming out. This is not the way forward for me, I don't think. But yeah. So there are a lot of problems with the subscription service, and I think there's a lot of kinks to be worked out with all of these things. I still don't think we've got it sorted. Obviously, music-wise, I think Spotify is great. You've got pretty much every music you'd ever want all in one place, whereas when it comes to films, they're spread out everywhere, and I don't like that, and I think that's definitely what's going to happen with gaming. So circling back to the quote, it's not my initial impression of this that he is telling us that we need to get comfortable with not owning our games. I think he's saying that in order for these subscription models to grow, that is what would need to happen. I don't think he's saying that we have to, or any of the ways that people are taking it. I know why people are upset. People want to own their games forever. I want to own my games forever. I want to pay for it once on Steam and have it forever, but that's not how it's going to work. If Steam ever goes down or they decide you can't play that game anymore, you can't play that game anymore. They're not going to give you your money back either. That's not how it works. So, you know, I understand why people are angry, but I don't think that's what this guy is saying. I think it's being blown out of proportion. He's just talking about streaming services specifically. I don't mind dumping all over Ubisoft when they really do something bad, but this is a problem I have with internet culture, is we dump on everyone for every tiny little thing, and when they do actually do something bad, they don't listen, because they just go, you know what, we get dumped on for everything, so they don't listen. That's like a big problem I have. So yeah, I think maybe this one's gone a bit too far, but yeah, I know it's a bit silly, but I just thought I'd say my 2 cents. So there it is. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Have a nice, calm conversation with me, please. We don't need yelling. We don't need name calling, all of that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Sticks out.